Welcome, focus learners. Today, we're diving into a topic that it is absolutely crucial, but let's be honest, undeniably complex, navigating the Texas special education system. If you're a parent jumping into this for the very first time, it can honestly feel like you've just been dropped into a maze of endless paperwork and a really confusing alphabet soup of acronyms. But take a breath. You are not alone in this. In today's explainer, we're going to break down the Parent's Guide to Special Education into clear, manageable steps so you can walk into those meetings and advocate for your child with absolute confidence. Here's how we're going to break it down today. We'll start with a welcome to special education, move right into step 1, the referral, dive into evaluating your child with the FIE, unpack the ARD meeting decisions, and finally build out the actual IEP plan. All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, Welcome to Special Education. Now, it is so incredibly easy to view the school system as this giant opposing force, right? But the absolute foundational mindset for this whole journey is realizing that we are actually all on the exact same team. Educators and parents really do share one single unified purpose here: to surround your student with support and give them every chance to thrive. And listen, the most vital takeaway of this entire process, you, the parent, are literally the most important person on this team. Your everyday knowledge of your child is completely irreplaceable. It helps to know that the special education process really just follows a logical step-by-step flow. It kicks off with a referral when a concern is raised. Then your written consent is what unlocks the evaluation, the FIE, so we can get a full picture of your child. After that, there's the ARDI meeting to review the results. And finally, we build a customized support plan, the IEP. See? It's way less intimidating when you break it down like this. Moving right along to Section 2, Step 1, the referral. So what actually is a referral? Simply put, it's a formal written request asking the school to evaluate your child for special education. And honestly, anyone who knows your child can kick this off. You can do it anytime, a teacher can do it, even doctors or therapists. But here is my biggest piece of advice for you. Always put your request in writing. Date it and keep a copy for yourself. That paper trail is absolutely going to be your best friend as we move forward. And why is dating that written request such a big deal? Well, because of this number right here, 15. The literal second you hand in that written referral, a ticking clock starts. Under Texas law, the school has exactly 15 school days, not calendar days, school days, to respond to you. They are either going to ask for your formal written consent to start the evaluation, or they have to explain exactly why they won't. Oh, and you'll also get this thick document outlining your procedural safeguards. It's basically the rule book for your rights as a parent, so definitely hold on to it. Okay, Section 3, FIE, evaluating your child. Time to decode our first major piece of alphabet soup, FIE. That stands for Full and Individual Evaluation. Now, this isn't just some quick, off-the-shelf standardized test. It's designed to paint a complete, vivid picture of your child as a learner, diving into every single area of suspected need, plus all their amazing strengths. A whole team of specialists gets involved here. But remember the golden rule. They cannot do a single thing until you've provided explicit, written permission. Your consent is the key that starts the engine. And when I say they look at the whole child, I really mean it. It's like putting together a giant puzzle. They evaluate thinking and learning, memory, attention, problem solving. They look closely at speech and language to see exactly how your child communicates. But they don't stop there. They also cover academics, motor skills, vision, hearing, and, super importantly, social and emotional factors. They literally leave no stone unturned. Once you sign that consent form, boom, a new clock starts ticking. The magic number this time is 45. The evaluation can officially begin, and the school generally has 45 school days to get the entire FIE done. And at the end of it, they have to hand you a full, comprehensive written report of everything they found. It is a massive amount of data, but having this strict legal timeframe means your child isn't just left waiting in limbo forever. Despite all that complex testing and observation, this entire FIE process really just boils down to answering two massive questions. Number 1, does your child actually have a disability that fits into one of the 13 federal categories like autism or ADHD? And number 2, do they actually need special education because of it? Meaning, does this disability impact their learning so much that standard, occasional extra help just won't cut it? If the answer to both of these is yes, your child is officially eligible. Which brings us right to Section 4, the ARD meeting decisions. All right, our next acronym is ARD, which stands for Admission, Review, and Dismissal. Now, quick aside, if you talk to literally anyone outside of Texas about this, they're going to look at you funny because the rest of the country just calls this an IEP meeting. It is exactly the same thing. This is the big huddle where eligibility is decided and progress is reviewed. And listen, the ultimate goal of an ARD meeting is always consensus. It is not some simple majority vote where the school can just outvote you. Your voice carries immense real weight at this table. So after the FIE is completely done and you've got that huge report in your hands, yet another clock starts. The school now has 30 calendar days to hold that initial ARD meeting. Notice I said calendar days this time, not school days. That's a big distinction. It ensures the team gets together super quickly while all that evaluation data is still fresh, so you can actually start building a solid support structure right away. So who's actually pulling up a chair to this meeting? Well, first and foremost, you. You are the definitive expert on your kid. You'll be sitting with a general education teacher, a special ed teacher, a district rep who can actually approve school resources, and the specialist who ran the evaluation. And here's a fantastic pro tip. You can absolutely bring guests. If you have a private therapist, a professional advocate, or just a really supportive friend who knows your child well, you have every right to bring them along. You don't have to do this alone. And now, the final stretch. Section 5, Building the IEP Plan. Here is the big one, the IEP, or Individualized Education Program. This is it, the written, legally binding document spelling out exactly how the school promises to support your child. It is absolutely not a one-size-fits-all template. It's totally custom-built using the FIE data, starting with what's called the PLAF, which is really just a clunky way of saying where your child is at right now. From there, the team maps out specific, measurable goals for the whole year ahead. And remember, it's a living plan. It gets reviewed and tweaked at least once a year. A huge part of building this plan is understanding the tools in your toolbox. People mix up accommodations and modifications all the time, but they are radically different. Accommodations change how your child learns, but they keep the expectations exactly the same. Think extra time on a test or letting them sit great next to the teacher. Modifications, on the other hand, change what your child learns. The actual content or expectations are adjusted, maybe shorter, simplified assignments, or a completely different curriculum. Both are incredible tools, and you'll figure out what's best together. The IEP also pins down exactly where this learning happens, guided by a rule called the Least Restrictive Environment, or LRE. Basically, the law says your child needs to be in a regular classroom with their peers as much as possible. That is always the starting point, bringing the support directly to them there. Only if they really truly need it will the team look at more specialized settings, like stepping out for small group resource support or moving to a dedicated special education classroom for part of the day. So if we step back, this whole ecosystem really operates like 3 giant gears turning together. First, the FIE gathers the story and gives us the data. Then the ARD meeting is where the team actually makes the decisions. And finally, the IEP, that's the legally binding written plan setting everything into motion. See how those 3 intimidating acronyms all perfectly connect to support your child? I really want to leave you with this one vital thought. You are the most important person in this entire process. Yes, the system is packed with acronyms, ticking clocks, and literal mountains of paperwork. But honestly, none of it moves without you. Your concern starts the referral. Your signature kicks off the evaluation. Your voice shapes the goals. And your agreement sets the IEP in motion. You are the ultimate catalyst here. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. As you go out there to fiercely advocate for your student, ask yourself this. How are you going to use your unique expertise as a parent to steer this team?